Has anybody been to the zoo recently? I know at least everybody in my life has been to the zoo. But to those of you who have been to the zoo, have you ever wondered if the animals you went and visited were being taken care of properly? My name is Paige, and today we're going to be talking about zoo enclosures and how they only slightly benefit animals, but in reality are only truly used for humanity's benefits. Zoos have been used as cages for wild animals and pure entertainment for the human race for centuries, and it's about time that we truly take a look at how to become beneficial to both animals and humanity. Although zoos give an interesting insight to the wildlife that lives on our planet, they're only used for entertainment. The animals aren't always in the appropriate habitat, and there are other ways to still receive insight while letting the animals be in a better environment. Let's take a minute to recap when the first zoo was created. From the first zoo to now, exotic animals have continuously been used as a way to entertain humanity. On its website, last updated July 22, 2011, National Geographic and their academic journaling crew explained that people had private collections of animals called menageries, before zoos developed into a physical place people could go and observe the animals. The website nationalgeographic.com continues to state that the first modern zoo was built in 1793 and opened in Paris, France. Early zoos, like the Menagerie du Jardin Plantes, were more like museums of living animals. Animals were kept in small display areas with as many species as space would allow. Animals haven't been kept in the proper habitats since the first zoo, and it hasn't gotten much better. In an article called "Should We Have Zoos?" from Scholastic News, published February 2017, acknowledges that animals need a lot of space to roam. Even though some zoo enclosures are larger now, they're still tiny compared to the space most animals would have in the wild. And some zoos even admitted that they're not good homes to certain animals. An example of this is the elephant exhibit in Seattle, Washington. According to Justin Worland through Time magazine in an article called "The Future of Zoos," published February 2017, states that animal rights advocates had criticized the exhibit as inhumane for being too small and not reflective of the elephant's natural habitat. Animals that live in captivity live in the shadows of what their lives could be in the wild. In another article called "Upsetting the Art," written by Betsy Carpenter from August of 1992, expresses that some species owe their existence to zoos. However, breeding in zoos is oversold. Betsy Carpenter also continues to state that many births at zoos are unplanned but are simply the result of animals being housed together, and because of this, new arrivals are often genetically weakened and inbred. Alternatively, there are other solutions than zoos to keep both humans and animals happy and healthy. Looking again at Justin Worland's article called "The Future of Zoos," published by Time magazine, states that study after study has shown that many animal species are far smarter and more feeling than previously understood. He continues to report that this gives new insight into how they may suffer from anxiety and depression when they are removed from nature. Taking another look back at nationalgeographic.com, they talk about the different types of zoos there are, some of these being alternatives to normal, or in other words, urban and suburban zoos, that are common throughout the US and the entire world. These alternatives include safari and game reserves. Safari parks are a great way to give the animals the space they need, while also allowing them to roam free at their own will. National Geographic states that safari parks are larger than urban and open-range zoos, and all while tourists can drive their own cars to see non-native wildlife living in large enclosed areas. This gives both humanity and animals what they want and need. Game reserves, on the other hand, are large swaths of land whose ecosystem and native species are protected, according to National Geographic. Rather than having the public invade these, they could instead be used for research-oriented purposes. This also allows the animals to live and behave as if they were in their natural habitat. Without a doubt, there are alternatives to allow humanity and animals to coexist peacefully without robbing the other species. Although, since the beginning of time, zoos have been used as cages for animals, and it's time to really think about how to make viewing these beautiful creatures placed on this earth beneficial to both parties. It's time to stop using animals for entertainment, give them the appropriate habitat, and finally find a way to still give an insight on the animals without corrupting their lives. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's being caged all day is not fun. So what makes it okay for us to do that to our animals? Thank you.